If you're a Sagittarius and you're seeing this video today, please don't scroll away, because what's about to be said might be the sign you've been praying for, but never got an answer to. This message only opens when your soul is truly ready. You didn't come into this world to live like everyone else. Your soul was born to lead, to believe in what no one else dares to believe. And today, the universe wants you to hear this, because it directly affects your destiny. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some doors had to close, and why today is the day you're finally allowed to walk through them. If your heart is trembling for something you can't name yet, write this down. I am ready to embrace my great destiny. Not for me to see, but for the universe to witness that Sagittarius is ready. And now, let's begin. When the sun moves into the 12th house of your astrological chart, Sagittarius, it's not just a time of preparation. It's a sacred time for the soul to be purified. The 12th house is where endings live, where the unseen dwells, where dreams whisper the truths you've never spoken. It's a time to look inward instead of chasing the noise outside. A time to ask yourself quietly, who am I when I'm not playing any role? And the magic is, Sagittarius never stops exploring. But this time, the journey doesn't take you far away. It takes you home, to yourself. You don't need a passport. You don't need a map. You only need the courage to be still. Mercury enters Scorpio like a torch, lighting the hidden corridors of your subconscious, like staring into an ancient mirror and realizing the reflection you see isn't who you were yesterday. Sometimes, a truth reveals itself not to frighten you, but to heal you. I've lived through a season like that before. The moment I thought I was falling behind, but in truth, I was diving deeper within myself. Solitude is not punishment. It's a sacred space to hear the true voice of your soul. And for Sagittarius, that can be the greatest challenge because you love freedom. But sometimes, real freedom begins when you face the invisible cage within your own spirit. You might feel tired, lost, like wandering through a forest with no signs to guide you. But you know what? Those with the brightest light must first walk through the deepest dark. And you, Sagittarius, are one of those souls. And light never fears the dark. It only waits to be remembered. This is not the time for impulsive action. It's the time to observe, to feel, to peel away the layers of mist covering your spiritual vision. The more you listen, the clearer it gets. There's a part of you already shedding its old skin. Nothing that happens now is random. Some relationships are slowing down. Some opportunities are slipping away. Some doors are closing right in front of you. But what you can't see yet is that beyond those losses, something greater is waiting. Something truer. Something that has always been meant for you. When nothing happens and no one comes, it's not silence. It's the universe rearranging everything for you. So don't be afraid of the stillness, because that's when the universe redraws your map of destiny. This is a time to heal your faith. Maybe you trusted the wrong person. Maybe you placed your hope where it wasn't respected. Don't blame yourself. You weren't wrong for loving. But now it's time to love yourself deeper. Not with words, but by protecting your energy from what no longer belongs. Not everyone deserves access to your growth. Sometimes Sagittarius shares too much, gives too freely. But now it's time to draw boundaries. Not because you're selfish, but because you've learned the true value of your own energy. Don't let delays make you doubt yourself. The universe has never said no to you. It only whispers, wait a little longer, because what you asked for is coming, and you must be strong enough to hold it. If this message is touching something deep inside you, write in the comments. I am ready to embrace my great destiny. Don't hesitate. Don't think it's just a sentence, because that sentence is your declaration to the heavens. And if lately you've been quieter, more withdrawn, more introspective than usual, know that it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign you're being reborn in a new spiritual form, stronger, clearer. Nuahil. So what waits for you beyond this fog? Is your intuition guiding you toward an entirely new path? Don't leave just yet, because in the next part, I'll tell you about a destined message coming from the past, one that can only be understood in this exact moment. There are moments in life that if you miss them, you'll never meet them again in the same way. They don't return. They don't wait. And they don't repeat. But if today you are here, listening, with an open heart and an awakened mind, then maybe, just maybe, you've arrived right on time. Jupiter, your ruling planet, is now forming a beautiful trine with the North Node in Aries. This isn't just an astrological alignment. It's a calling, an invitation from destiny itself, opening only for those who are ready to act upon the voice of their soul. The North Node represents evolution, the path your soul chose before you were even born. And when it aligns with Jupiter, the planet of faith, expansion, and divine truth, it means this: the door of destiny is opening. But you must be brave enough to walk through it. The voice within you, sometimes gentle as a breeze, will grow clearer today. And if you're still enough, you'll hear it whisper, the time is now. Chiron, the great healer, is moving powerfully at this moment. Like an ancient key turning in the lock of your memories, it brings you back to wounds without names, those passed down through bloodlines, beliefs, limitations, and the silence of your ancestors. Have you ever felt like you're carrying a weight you can't explain? Maybe it's not your story alone. Maybe it's the quiet prayer of generations before you, waiting for you to stop, to listen, not to blame, but to realize you are the one ending the old cycle. You are the one breaking the chain of pain. You are the one beginning a new chapter. I once believed that answers would come from outside, but the sacred truths always waited for me to turn inward. Chiron doesn't just heal, it teaches you to live with what can't be changed, and to love the very parts you once ran from. So if your heart is trembling right now, if it feels like an invisible door just opened, don't ignore it, because the soul doesn't call your name many times. When you are ready, truth reveals itself. And the truth today is this: you are no longer the old version of you. You don't need permission to live authentically. You don't need approval to begin again. No one can close a door that the universe has already opened for you, except you. Maybe you're standing between two choices, one familiar, safe, and easy, the other new, uncertain, but it makes your heart beat faster. Don't be afraid, because when Jupiter calls, it's a sign that it's time to live larger than yourself. You are no longer a child, you are a soul maturing, learning how to bring your light to where it's needed most. Live as if you've been chosen, because you have. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will believe in your dream. But that doesn't matter. The most sacred thing you can do is to walk your path, even if it's alone, with clarity in your heart. You don't need to see the whole road ahead. Just take one step, and the universe will take care of the rest. Don't let someone else's fear shrink your vision. Don't let old mistakes stop you from receiving new blessings. Don't let the past hold you from the future that's already waiting. You weren't born just to survive. You came here to shine, to love, to learn, to heal, and to become the light for someone still standing in the dark. If this feels meaningful to you, share this video, because maybe someone out there needs to hear these words from you. And if you feel like the universe is speaking directly to you through this video, write down, "I am ready to live by the truth of my soul." Write it not for me to see, but for the universe to witness that you have chosen yourself. And now that you know this, you can never go back to who you were before. Like a flower that's already bloomed, it cannot close again. Like a flame once lit, it cannot be extinguished. Live as if today were the last time you'd ever hear that calling, because maybe it only comes once in a lifetime. In the next part, I'll show you the sign of someone who's coming closer, carrying a sacred mission written for you long before you were born. Don't go anywhere, because destiny is closer than you think. At your core, Sagittarius, you are not just a traveler. You are a bearer of light, a soul that listens to the farthest call of spirit and dares to walk toward it, even without knowing where the road will lead. You were not born to stand still. Every cell in your body carries the memory of motion, of purpose, of ideals. And while others debate what's right or wrong, you, Sagittarius, already hear the inner voice whisper, "Go, seek, live your truth." You are a seeker of truth, not because you need to prove anything, but because your soul simply cannot live with falseness. What others can tolerate feels unbearable to you. Truth, for you, is not a concept, it's a direction. And because of that, not everyone can walk beside you for long. Sagittarius moves fast, sees far, thinks big, and sometimes that makes you feel alone. But remember this, pioneers always walk alone at first. I've met many Sagittarians in my life, souls who cannot live without faith. They may lose everything, but if they still have belief, they still have light. That's what sets them apart. When the world chooses safety, they choose honesty. When the world chooses convenience, they choose meaning. When the world stays silent, they choose to speak. The greatest lesson you're learning right now is how to keep your fire alive without needing anyone to validate it. Because not everyone can handle truth. But Sagittarius, with the spirit of a pilgrim, was born to carry light into the dark corners others are too afraid to face. You've been misunderstood, called too blunt, too bold, too idealistic. But behind every too much is a heart that refuses to live halfway. And if walking alone is what it takes to stay true to your inner flame, then it's a path worth walking. You don't need others to understand you, as long as you don't betray the voice within. There will be days when you feel tired, uncertain, wondering if you're still on the right path. And in those moments, return to the first truth you ever believed, that you came here to live honestly, to inspire, to free, not to please everyone. If you're still here, listening, pause for a moment. Place your hand over your heart and ask, am I living true to my ideals? If the answer is no, don't judge yourself. Just come back home. If the answer is yes, keep going, even if no one cheers for you. Dear Sagittarius, you are a messenger of the sacred, not because you're perfect, but because you dare to live as if your soul matters. You dare to light the truth, even if it means standing alone in the dark. And in the next part, I'll show you why the moment you live authentically, your career, your relationships, and your finances begin to shift. Because the universe never lets those who live in truth stay unseen for long. Sometimes the energy of the cosmos stops flowing smoothly and begins to shake. And right now, Sagittarius, you are standing in that exact moment. Mars, the planet of action, desire, and impulse, is squaring Neptune, the planet of dreams, intuition, and illusion. It's an intense alignment, It can tempt you with choices that seem sweet, magnetic, but uncertain, misaligned, or insincere. You may feel the urge to decide quickly, a sudden invitation, an ideal opportunity, or someone alluring who appears out of nowhere. But if there's a quiet voice inside whispering, "Wait, listen," Mars square Neptune blurs the line between passion and illusion, like standing before a mirror in the fog. The image is there, but not clear. It can pull you away from the path you've been building for just one impulsive moment. And this is when emotional maturity becomes your greatest strength. You've come too far to turn back. Your soul has worked too hard to be swayed by something uncertain now. The universe won't stop you from choosing, but it will test you one last time to see if you're truly listening to your inner voice. And then, Venus, the planet of love and value, moves into your 10th house. This is powerful. A relationship may directly affect your career, or the path you're walking professionally could lead to a surprising emotional connection. The intersection between love and career has never been easy. But with Venus in your 10th house, this isn't just about emotions. It's about long-term direction. Someone may appear and make your heart tremble, but what matters more is, will they walk beside you on the path your soul has chosen? This is the moment to ask yourself, does this make me stronger? Or does it ask me to sacrifice myself? The universe won't punish you for making a mistake, but it will teach you. And if you're drawn to something that makes your intuition uneasy, step back. Observe. Because sometimes what you're praying for is exactly what the universe hides for a while, so you don't break it before it's ready. Be careful with offers that sound sweet as honey, yet make your inner voice hesitate. The universe is testing you one last time before it hands you your reward. You may have to say no to something you once thought you wanted. But trust me, what you truly need is waiting, and it cannot arrive until you've cleared the space for it. If you're standing between two choices, between love and release, advance or retreat, acceptance or refusal, know that you are not alone. Share what you feel in the comments below, because sometimes in that very act of sharing, you'll find the light you were looking for. Do you feel a door closing so that another can open? If you do, you're in the right place. And in the next part, I'll help you see more clearly how the choices you make today become the foundation of your destiny tomorrow. There are moments when your soul stands at a crossroads with no map, no signs, no clear direction, only a quiet but powerful knowing that says, it's time. And my dear Sagittarius, you are standing there now. Jupiter, your great guardian, is forming a trine with the South Node, the meeting point of old lessons and release. This is a sacred moment when you're allowed to walk away from what no longer serves your soul's journey, but only if you're truly ready to let go. Letting go is not giving up. It's the deepest act of faith. Faith that if you release what no longer fits, something truer will take its place. Faith that if you stop clinging to the past, the future can finally step in. I know, sometimes what you must release is what you once loved most. A relationship, a dream, an older version of yourself. But you can't step into a new journey while carrying a suitcase full of what has already expired. Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, is moving through your 2nd house. This is where your values, resources, and self-worth live. Pluto doesn't come to destroy, it comes to cleanse, to strip away the layers you've clung to out of fear, and to give you the chance to redefine, who am I, and what am I truly worthy of? And that is how the universe asks you, do you remember who you are? Because from the moment you answer that question, your destiny begins to move. This is not a time to chase appearances. It's the time to return to your core values and rebuild from there. A relationship that doesn't honor your soul, a job that costs you your peace, a decision that silences your intuition. All of it will rise to the surface now, and you'll have to choose. No one can choose for you, but the universe is watching. Did you know there are choices your soul will never forget? Not because they were wrong, but because you knew the truth, heard it clearly, and still chose silence. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this to remind you, you are stronger than you think. You've survived too much to lose yourself now, just because you fear losing something that's no longer meant for you. Your career may be shaking. A relationship may be at a turning point, or maybe you simply don't feel like yourself anymore. That's not collapse, that's transformation. And only when you move through it with absolute honesty will you enter a frequency reserved for the brave. If today were the only day you could see this truth, what would you do with it? Would you ignore it? Pretend you didn't hear it? Or pause, take a deep breath, and say, I'm ready. Write those words down as a ritual, as a beginning, as a declaration to the universe that you are no longer afraid of your own light. I am ready to step into my destiny with all my truth, my light, and my faith. You are not alone. There are thousands of other souls writing those same words right now. And if you feel something deep awakening within you, share this video. Because maybe what you've just realized is what someone else has been praying to hear. Today you get to choose again. Choose clarity over confusion, truth over comfort, faith over fear, yourself over the role others wrote for you. Because the smallest choices you make today are the seeds of your destiny tomorrow. And in the next part, I'll take you into a very special vibration, a place where once you've walked through the quake, the light returns, carrying a sacred sign that only the chosen ones can see. After everything you've heard, felt, and faced, there's one thing you must remember. Sagittarius is not ordinary. You didn't come here to live a quiet, predictable life. You came into this world carrying a sacred mission. The arrow in your hand doesn't aim backward. It points straight toward a future others wouldn't even dare to imagine. You are a pilgrim of truth, a soul that carries the fire of ideals on your shoulders, the one who dares to walk into the uncharted, not to conquer, but to bring light. And today, this message isn't meant to comfort you. It's meant to return to you the power of your own soul. How long have you forgotten that? How many times have you made yourself smaller just to fit into the world? How many times have you silenced that sacred calling in your heart simply because you were afraid no one would understand? But now, you don't have to wait for anyone to understand. You just need to understand yourself and act from that sacred place within. The universe is always watching the souls brave enough to choose the light. And rewards are never random. If you've made it this far, it means your soul has already chosen. And when the chosen one begins to walk, the universe moves mountains to clear the way. If what you're hearing is awakening something deep inside you, write this down. I am ready to embrace my great destiny, not for others to see, but to declare, I have already chosen. And if this touches someone in your life, leave a like, share this video, because maybe someone out there is still standing in the dark, waiting for the light you carry. The world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs the brave ones, the awakened ones, the ones who dare to love, to believe, to live truthfully. You are that person. And if you're ready to go even deeper, in the next video, I'll tell you about the destined day that's approaching, and about the one who's been quietly watching your journey from afar. We'll meet again there, under the light of a soul that no longer doubts, but simply acts. I believe in you, Sagittarius, and the universe believes too.